What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brennan, and I'm BManX45, and today we're coming at you with another video. We have a deck profile that is late as hell. This was supposed to be up right after Christmas, but getting ready for vacation did not help. This is our yellow vaccine, not Ultimate Cup format. So we did the pre-Christmas Ultimate Cup format version of this deck when I was playing in the Ultimate Cups back in December. I was redoing the decks not as Ultimate Cup decks, and I actually had this one down to a Kazujimon deck, using the Shaman guys to just get extra attacks and maintain like a security of 3, which was a really cool variant, and I really enjoyed playing it. When I got back, it'd been a while, and I saw a few new ideas pop up out of the woodwork. One that I really loved because I loved the cards in that deck, and I was like, I want to use this, and I took my own spin on it, added a few cards here and there that I really think are worthwhile, because I don't like putting all my eggs in one basket if I don't have to. So this is a yellow vaccine Marcus Damon deck. So this is using the Marcus engine in combination with yellow vaccine, because all of the Greymon stuff is vaccine, to get the most out of your yellow vaccine plays. So this is what I'm doing right now. It is late still. I want to have this up by Friday because that was the release of EX5. Unfortunately, we haven't received our EX5 boxes. We live on an island and it snowed here in British Columbia. So that's like a double whammy. You ain't getting your stuff because, for one, you ain't getting your stuff if it snows, and you definitely ain't getting your stuff if it snows and you trucks have to take a ferry across to get you your product. So we're probably not going to see our product until mid next week. Hopefully mid next week, if not late next week. I'm hoping to get it soon because I really like having those boxes up for you guys either before or at the time of release, because it's just more relevant that way. But we will be getting into that later on. But now we're going to go into this yellow vaccine deck profile. It's probably going to change. I'm probably going to have another iteration of it coming into EX5 because the Mitamon stuff looks pretty cool, and could even be faster and just better for the deck. But right now I'm really liking this Marcus thing, so I'm going to go. And I've heard rumors that it's even really great for nationals. If you're going to nationals, you might want to think about this kind of a splash in your yellow vaccine deck. But without further ado, it's probably going to be a long video, so let's get into it and see if we can't get this done faster. So we're playing 5 eggs, because you do go through a lot of eggs, especially with the Angemons. You just want to be able to have more eggs, because you can hatch stuff right away. You got 4 Tokomons. Draw power is just more important in this deck. And then you want your pieces, and then we do have the Koromon, because it's not always bad to have that minus DP, help you get around guys, or that extra push to basically to kill things, especially with all your other Marcus and Greymon cards in there. So that's what we're doing for the eggs. That's how we do. Starting with our rookies, we are playing 4 copies of BT14 Patamon. He's the main man. You want to see him at the start of the game. He lets you search your security stack and Digivolve into a yellow vaccine card. It's any yellow vaccine level 4. So it's really good. Then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolved by this effect, you can place a yellow card with vaccine from your hand to the bottom of your security stack, which activates all your add cards, including it'll activate his inheritable, which is when a card is added to your security stack, gain a memory. So you're Digivolving for free. You're Digivolving for -1 is really what you're doing. So really good. Makes it easy to get up really fast. Like if your opponent locks you at 2, you can get up to your level 5 right there, and then just go into your mega and end turn. So it's good. We play 4 of the EX4 Agumon. He Digivolves for a Koromon for 0, so you're not always going to get that since you play more Tokomons. But it doesn't matter, because honestly, sometimes going into this guy at the beginning of your turn, if you have a good hand, and putting your opponent at 1 is actually a really good move. I used to do that because you can choose on a Koromon to do it for 1. So I used to do that by choice a lot of the time. Now you don't have a choice if you're on a Tokomon, but still not a bad move. He also gives you draw power when your tamers suspend, which is, again, really good. And start your main phase, if you have a red or yellow tamer in play, which you're hopefully going to, because that's the point of this deck, you're going to get that memory gain. So even if he costs you 1, you get it back later on, maybe even more. And we play 2 of the BT13 Agumon. He turns your Marcuses into Digimon so they can swing and do free Digivolutions or gain you memory, and it's just really good. He just there sits on the board, puts pressure on there. And then he's got a good inheritable too because he can pop something 3,000 or less if a tamer's suspended. So you minus DP from something and then it becomes 3,000 and you have something on this. All of a sudden there you get that inheritable. So that's really, really good. So that's it. Just 10 rookies, kind of low, but that's all we have room for in this deck. We play a fair number of tamers going into the champions. We play 4 of the Geogreymon from BT12 lets you play a Marcus if you don't have one on the field. It also has the minus 2,000 for suspending a tamer to one of your opponent's Digimon. Yes, these are the championship cards. I got them off someone, and they are beautiful. Really like them. We play 1 of the Geogrey because it did get hit in the ban list. So I mean, you can only play 1, but he lets you Digivolve or lets you play a tamer from your security stack. And because you go into it with Patamon, you can potentially go into this guy knowing what's in your security stack and play a tamer for free, which is really, really good. And it's any tamer, doesn't have to be a Marcus. It gives you recovery +1, which does activate your abilities when you add stuff to the thing. And he's got the same inheritable as the BT13 Agumon. Then we play 3 of Angemons. I was thinking about playing 2. There's another level 4 you could play more than 1 copy of, but I like 3. You don't necessarily need him. He's only really good for a virus matchup, other than if you want to slow down your opponent. Like if they're putting stuff on board because they need to have stuff on board, you can potentially kill that and then just set up your thing. Better if you're going against a virus deck, like it just destroys things like Chaos Dramon. But it's still really good on deletion ability and stuff like that, you know, and just the fact that you can do that, you can basically send a virus back to the security stack is just nuts. But even the minus 5,000 is really good, and I mean he's good on a Patamon too because he only costs 2, so that's always good. And then we have 1 Rapidmon. Rapidmon's really cool because you can play him on a Patamon for free, so he's not super expensive. You get his when Digivolving ability, you get Armor Purge, which is just really good. So I do like that. I think 1 of him is good. I like 2, but then you get him in your hand too much, and you don't want him in your hand. You want to be able to put him in your security stack or put him in your security stack so you can go into him. So I think 1's a good number. And then we play 1 Zephyrmon, and this is the one where you could play 2 Zephyrmon and like 2 Angemon, but I don't think you need more than 1 hybrid for game, especially with the amount of draw power in this deck. I think 1 hybrid is good enough. You don't get anything out of her. She Digivolves on a level 4 for 1, which can help you dig, and that's another cool option too, especially with like the low cost Digivolutions in this deck. You can just help you dig to get to stuff you need, but you don't really get anything out of her other than that. So I feel like 1's enough. If I don't end up liking the Angemons, I could cut 1 and play 2 of her, and that would be one of the only changes I'd make. So that's it for these guys. Again, 10 level 4s. So they're not getting like super high counts of stuff. For level 5s, we play Magnagemon. He's our hand trap. He's our ace card. You can play him. He's super good. Minuses potentially up to 6,000 off a guy, which even if it can't kill him, can make it so that if he's trying to crash into your monster survives and their Digimon dies, which is really good. The fact that it gives you recovery and that it only costs 4 to play and 3, 4 to play is just nuts. So it's really, really good. You got to play 4 of it. Then we play 3 of the Rise Greymon that lets you play a Marcus from your hand without paying the cost, and then it also saves your Marcuses from going to the trash and puts them back on the top of the security, so you can continue to maintain that really nuts security. So there's just 7 of those. Then next we have 3 Venusmon. Venusmon is just such an awesome stun card. It basically says your opponent can't play the game. Gives them security attack minus, or makes decks that already use the security attack moniker really bad. So that's really good and really hard to get over, and just a really good card. Plus you can play her for next to nothing. She's a 4 cost, but with your other cards that play vaccines for nothing, You don't have to worry about that. I would play 4, but this is my take on the deck. If you're going to play Marcus stuff, you might as well play a win con condition. Like I said, this is about not putting your baskets in not putting all your eggs in the Venusmon basket. Really good, but if you've got the right play and stuff like that, why not Shine Greymon for game? Potentially, if you have a couple Marcuses on board and they get security attack +1 and you just go through and knock out all the security. Say you have an Agumon on board that can attack too. You got 5 attacks, and then you got game with Shine Greymon if you haven't already attacked or done something with other Marcuses. So I mean, this is really good. This combo is really good, and I feel like it's good enough that you can. And the fact is, you can Digivolve this guy for nothing with your option card. So I mean, it doesn't even matter if it's on a Rise Greymon or not. You're still getting that really great ability. He's still really strong. Level 6 that you can put into your security stack and use for later. So I like the 3-in-1 because it gives you alternate options. And for level 7s, we're playing 1 Shine Greymon Rune mode. I would play this at 2, but my next card is, again, my tech choice, making the deck not all about one single thing. So this guy was really hard with his global effect and the fact that you can Marcus Daemon Digivolve into him for free. You can use the option card to go into him for 1. Really super simple to get into him. You can Digivolve for 4 from Shine Greymon. It's not going to happen, but whatever. And then just the fact that global minus 5,000, and then again when he dies, plus the recovery 1, and getting you through your baby cards super fast. And then lastly, Shine Greymon Burst Mode, because if I'm playing this guy and I'm playing Marcuses, I kind of think, it's worth 1-in-1. If I could, I'd still play 2 of this. And like I said, if it feels like it's not worth it, I can always cut this for a second Rune Mode. But this card wins games. The fact that it trashes, even if you don't Burst Mode into it, you can still play, if you have the Marcus in your hand, you can still play the Marcus in your hand, and it still gains Rush, and it can still knock his effect off, that when you attack with your Tamer, you can then trash a card and potentially get rid of 2 cards at once. So if your opponent only has 2 security left, you get rid of both security and then you attack with him for game. So super important, super good, and I just feel like this is a worthwhile combo that it's won me so many games, and the reason why I want to play this deck is because I love Shine Greymon so much, and I love the inclusion of the vaccine support with it, and the fact that everything's a vaccine is just really cool. So I do like that. I find like that's my one of tech choice to just kind of change up the build. A lot of other people would just play Venusmons and Rune modes, but I kind of like that. For Tamers, we're going to play 3 of the Marcuses from BT13, that the 5 cost one. It's your memory tamer, and it gets you memory plus minus 3,000 to your opponent's DP whenever it's suspended. Play 2 of the Digivolve Marcus, because you can still get those plays off where you can Digivolve for free, which is really, really good. And you're going to play your Marcuses for free, hopefully a lot of the time. We play 2 TKs, another memory tamer. It searches your stack for your missing pieces, gets your missing pieces, which is super important. Sorry, 3. Play 3 TKs, because getting your missing pieces is really good. And you can play that with a bunch of different things. And you can just set tamers up in your security stack so your opponent has to attack through all of them. So, I mean, with recovery, you're getting lots of tamers into your security so that your opponent has to attack through them and give you tons and tons of abilities. And then we play 4 of the new TK, that when on play, returning the top card of your security stack, you can then place a yellow card with vaccine. So sometimes, all the time, you can, if you don't like the card you get, you can just put it back if it's a vaccine at the bottom, and it activates the ability. You can use that to gain a memory when you do that. So it's only a 2 cost to play on your turn if you want to do that. And then again, it just helps you gain that memory every time you do add cards back, which is a lot with this deck. So we have to play 4 of that. So that's it for the tamers. A lot of tamers. I'm trying to think of how many tamers. That is 3, 5, 8, 12. 12 tamers. A lot of tamers. And then lastly, we play our Emissary of Hope. Lets us Digivolve into any of our level 6 or lower vaccines. without paying the cost. And then shuffle your security stack. If Digivolved by this effect, well, you have a TK, and it's on the field, recovery +1. Also, if it gets hidden security, you may play 1 Patamon from your hand or trash, and then add this card to your hand, which is really, really good. And then lastly, we play 1 Reinforcing Memory Boost, because if we're going to have 1 card left, Reinforcing Memory Boost is just the better card. Such a huge memory gain, plus the fact that you can set both your security stack and your hand up, which is really good. So that is it for the deck, guys. This is the Marcus Damon of Yellow Vaccine. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you guys would do differently. Do you like this deck? Would you rather have seen the Kazuchimon deck, or are you excited for my EX5 support to start rolling out? We'll do some of those deck profiles, so this might change really quickly here, but right now I really like this deck, and I love the Marcus stuff, so I'm gonna play it as much as I can possibly play it, especially since I love yellow. But yeah, and hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of fun. But that looks like all the time we have for this video. I thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. And as always, have a wonderful day, and that's all for now, folks.